President Rodrigo Duterte is calling on a peaceful 2022 elections or else. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos has yet to finalize his plans for next year, even after getting endorsed by KBL. Vice President Leni Robredo is likewise undecided so far as she continues to call for a united opposition. As more and more revelations come to light, Senator Gordon is calling the formally issue the mother of corruption. And 7 countries have signed up for UN's latest attempt to phase out coal energy. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. President Rodrigo Duterte is appealing for a peaceful elections next year. Speaking at a hospital inauguration in Sultan Kudarat, Duterte said he wants a free elections. He added that he wishes that the upcoming polls will be violence-free. He said he wants the younger generation to never experience the violence that has marred many elections before.
All leaders, political leaders, and those participating in the elections, I plead for peace. Ng eleksyon, gusto ko sa lahat ng buong Pilipinas na peaceful and people can vote freely with their candidates and that the votes, there will be the votes and it will be counted correctly. Yun lang naman ang gusto natin lahat eh. There will be the votes.
But in the same speech, Duterte said that he will not hesitate to use the military to ensure a free and peaceful elections.
Either we have an election that is free or I will use the military to say that the election is free.
Former Senator Bongbong Marcos is nominated as the standard-bearer of the party founded by his father. But the late dictator's son says he is still on the fence about running for president. Del De Vera with the story.
The late dictator Ferdinand Marcos's kilosang Bagong Lipunan nominated his son Bongbong as its standard-bearer for 2022. KBL said the nomination was unanimously approved by its members. Marcos thanked KBL in a recorded message and joined the online forum. He, however, made no explicit statement accepting the nomination. This prompted questions as to whether he will actually run.
Maraming elemento yan eh. Siyempre, kasama dyan yung karanasan mo. Politika naman para kamihan talaga ng boto. You have to be able to make alliances. You have to find a consensus.
But for KBL President Efren Rafanan, Marcos already made up his mind.
Marami pang mangyayari. That is a matter of strategy. But for sure, and we are 100%, BBM will run for senator. Or for president, I should say.
Marcos clarified he's still part of the Nacionalista Party. KBL and NP used to be an alliance but split up in 2009. He ran and won for senator under NP in 2010. Marcos also noted that he's still in talks with potential allies. He didn't float any names, but there are speculations that he might be reaching out to President Rodrigo Duterte. Duterte had earlier formally accepted PDP Laban's nomination for vice president. Despite declaring her cop-out, Marcos believes Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio might still be in the game.
I still consider it a possibility na magbabagong isip niya. But for now, we consider it na tama yung kanyang ipapagpatuloy niya yung kanyang sinabi na hindi siya tatakbo.
Several groups meanwhile criticized KBL's move. Bagong Alyansang Makabayan said BBM's presidential bid is a supreme irony, as it was recently the anniversary of the martial law, which his father had declared to stay in power. Bayan is optimistic that people won't allow another Marcos to rule the country. Campaign against the return of the Marcoses and martial law added that it will be a continuation of Duterte's murderous rule. For News 5, Dale De Vera, we are One News.
Marcos is not waiting for the Dutertes to make a decision before making his own. That's according to his spokesperson, Attorney Vic Rodriguez. Rodriguez pointed out in 1PH na Totoo Lang that both President Duterte and Mayor Sara Duterte have finalized their plans for next year. He added that BBM respects Mayor Sara's decision not to run for president.
The decision of PRRD is pretty much settled, and I guess the same goes for Mayor Inday Sara. Si PRRD, he accepted the nomination of the PDP Laban to run as its vice presidential candidate. Si Mayor Inday naman, makailang ulit nang sinabi na she is not running. We just have to respect the President and Mayor Inday na yun ang kanilang desisyon.
Rodriguez also claimed that Vice President Leni Robredo's quest for a united opposition is, quote, all drama. He added that Robredo has to step up if she wants a one-on-one against Marcos.
Yung drama mo nga nung simula na you're trying to unite the opposition, wala namang nakinig sa iyo. You have to, step back a little. Now you want a one-on-one. It will never happen. So it's useless, pointless to even answer yung kanyang hamon.
But Vice President Leni Robredo continues to hope for a united opposition ticket before the deadline of COC filing. That's according to her spokesperson, Attorney Barry Gutierrez. Speaking to 1PH, Gutierrez said that all the Vice President wants is a united opposition, and added that it is the only way to ensure that the next president will not be a Marcos or a Duterte. But Gutierrez maintains that Robredo is not waiting for a Marcos' announcement of intent to run for president, saying that Robredo has always been ahead of Marcos.
Yun ang ideal. Ang hanahabol talaga niya, kung pwede sila magsamang tatlo, yun ang ideal outcome. Diba? So, imbes na meron kang tatlong kandidato na lahat tumatayo bilang oposisyon, meron kang isang ticket, diba? Na yun ang kakatawan para sa lahat ng mga puwersa na labas dun sa Marcos Duterte axis. Diba? Yun ang kanyang posisyon.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Political analysts say that the Formally controversy can hurt the President Duterte's chances in the 2022 elections. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez with a story.
With just a little over 8 months left in his term, President Duterte is fighting one of the biggest scandals of his presidency, the Senate investigation into the procurement of face masks and face shields. Over the course of 9 hearings, senators kept coming back to the links between Formally and Michael Yang, Duterte's former economic advisor. Analysts say the issue is bound to hurt his popularity.
Global barrier dahil yung issue na yan, corruption and economic consequences of COVID. Ang tanong, mapapanagot ba ang Pangulo? The President would suffer from all these accusations.
Just this week, SWS released a survey showing the president's satisfaction rating dropped to 75% in June this year. That's lower than his record high grade in November last year of 84%, but is still considered pretty high for a president's final year.
Normally, yung pong mga Pangulo, pag nakaganto na sa laylayan niyang kanyang panunungkulan, nagiging lame duck na yung Pangulo. We take it as a challenge.
In the latest hearing, Blue Ribbon Chair Senator Dick Gordon continued to implicate the president. He called the DOH spending on COVID supplies the mother of all corruption.
Pagdating sa Chinese companies, ang galing-galing ng ating gobyerno. Hindi man niya dinidepensahan ang mga Pilipinong kumpanya upang maisagawa ang pangdarambong sa bayan. Kailangan ma-appoint si Lau at alam natin kung sino nag-appoint kay Lau at Leong.
In turn, Duterte has also continued to lash out at the lawmakers, something experts say is his way of defending himself to his base.
He is actually talking to those constituency, then they build on that. So magandang basahin, is it enough to turn it around? Kasi right now, when you look at really with Farmerly, there's a lot of missteps.
All these missteps come to light, President Duterte's ability to convert his popularity into votes will be put to the ultimate test in the 2022 elections. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, VR1 News.
Meanwhile, Senator Richard Gordon has ordered the transfer of Farmerly Director Lincoln Ong to the Pasay City Jail. This after Ong continued to refuse to answer questions during the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings. Senator Kiko Pangilinan first moved the motion of his transfer after Ong evaded the lawmaker's question regarding the money that Michael Young lent to order medical supplies for the government. After this, Gordon ordered the sergeant at arms to transfer Ong to a local jail.
I'm sick and tired of this. Pagod na rin ako Pagod na tayong lahat dito The chair orders upon motion of Senator Lacson, Senator Dillon, Senator Ontiveros, and Senator Pangilinan as approved by the Senate President. Chair orders that Sergeant of Arms transfer this man to Pasay City Jail. So ordered. You lie and you steal from our people, you're gonna pay.
Meanwhile, here are other stories from around the world. The World Health Organization is calling on the international community for support over Afghanistan's collapsing health system. Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus said cases of infant polio could reappear if the situation persists. The WHO sought help to raise $606 million for the country that's ravaged by poverty and hunger since the Taliban's takeover. And Yemen gives a glimpse of its newly explored 30-meter wide sinkhole dubbed the Well of Hell. The 112-meter deep desert hole largely remains unexplored, but scientists have so far found different animals, pearls, and light waterfalls. Seven countries have signed the United Nations No New Coal Agreement, the latest attempt to try and piece together a global phase out of the world's dirtiest fossil fuel. More details from this Bloomberg Quick Take.
OECD nations need to end coal use by 2030, developing nations need to follow suit by 2040, and we need coalitions of solidarity between countries that still depend heavily on coal and countries that have the financial and technical resources to support transitions, because it is essential that no more coal power plants are built.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 10 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.